Good evening, everyone. I want to talk to you today about a transformative, yet simple practice that has the potential to change the trajectory of your life. A practice that's completely under your control and one that most of us overlook. The way you talk to yourself. Think about it for a moment. That is a very particular quality to us. The table of consciousness that is lit up by your inner dialogue shapes your reality. If you remind yourself you're not good enough, you will eventually become diverse. Based on the studies that we see, that is a visionary quality to us. That is a great builder. It bases its truth on authority. But here's the thing. You have the power to change the way you speak to yourself. You can decide today, in this very moment, to shift your self-talk to something positive, empowering, and constructive. You are your greatest influence. No one can influence you as profoundly as you can influence yourself. Every day you're making decisions, consciously or subconsciously, based on the way you speak to yourself. And often it's that inner voice that determines how you approach challenges, handle adversity, and even celebrate. Imagine this for a moment. What if you spoke to yourself like you were your best friend? What if for just 3 days you intentionally spoke words of encouragement, confidence, and love to yourself? It might seem simple, but it's powerful. Those 3 days could be the beginning of a complete shift in your life. Our words, my friends, create our reality. Every word we speak plants a seed in the soul of our mind. The thoughts we think, the words we speak, they are the architects of the future we are building. If you want to change the future, change the words you speak today. This isn't just about feeling good for a moment. It's about reprogramming your mind. I challenge you today for the next 3 days to talk to yourself as though you are already the person you aspire to be. Speak words of power, not defeat. Speak words of hope, not despair. Speak words of strength. I know for some of you, it may seem difficult. You may have been conditioned by past failures, criticism, or negative experiences. Those voices, external or internal, have told you that you're not enough or that you can achieve your dreams. But here's the truth. Those are lies. And you have the power to tell a new story. You are not the sum of your past mistakes or failures. You are not bound by the limits that others have placed on you. You have the authority to break free from those false narratives and create a new reality, one word at a time. But here's the thing, consistency is key. Change doesn't happen in a day, but in 3 days, you can set a new pattern. You can begin to build a new habit of speaking positively to yourself, reinforcing your potential and greatness. Day after day, word after word, you will begin to see the transformation. The process is simple, but it's not easy. That's why I encourage you to make a commitment to yourself. For 3 days, talk to yourself like you would to someone you deeply care about. If you slip up, forgive yourself and start again. Remember, this isn't about perfection. This is about progress. And just like planting seeds, it takes time for the growth to show, but in time, those seeds will blossom into a life of confidence, success, and peace. Your future starts with the words you speak today. So I want you to commit today, right now, to start this journey. Talk to yourself like the amazing person you are. And in doing so, you'll see the world around you start to change as well. Your words have power. Speak them wisely. Every day, whether we realize it or not, we engage in an ongoing conversation with ourselves. The words we speak in our own minds carry more weight than the words spoken by anyone else. This self-talk shapes our reality, our experiences, and ultimately our destiny. The power of self-talk is something most of us underestimate. But think about it for a moment. How often do you find yourself thinking or saying, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, or I'll never succeed? And when you repeatedly tell yourself these things, you begin to believe them, and they become the lens through which you view your world. On the flip side, imagine if you started telling yourself, I am capable, I am worthy, and I have what it takes. When you shift your internal dialogue to affirm your strengths, capabilities, and potential, something incredible happens. Your mind begins to align with your words. Your confidence grows, your belief in yourself strengthens, and your actions start to reflect that newfound sense of power. But here's the thing, self-talk is not just a passive process, it's active. It's a choice we make every single day, consciously or unconsciously. It's easy to fall into the trap of negative thinking because we've been conditioned by past experiences, failures, and the words of others. But just because a thought enters your mind doesn't mean it has to define you. You have the power to challenge and change the narrative. Every time you speak negatively to yourself, you are reinforcing a belief that limits you. However, when you speak to yourself with kindness, encouragement, and compassion, you begin to break down the barriers that have held you back. Your mind starts to embrace the possibilities instead of focusing on the limitations. This shift in thinking doesn't just affect your mood, it impacts your actions, your decisions, and ultimately, your results. Think of your mind as a fertile garden. The thoughts you plant are like seeds, and they take root, grow, and eventually manifest in your life. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and insecurity, that's what will grow. But if you plant seeds of belief, strength, and possibility, you'll see those qualities flourish in your life. The power of self-talk lies in your ability to decide what seeds you want to sow. And remember, every thought you think and every word you speak is planting something, whether it's positive or negative. We all have a constant inner dialogue running, but it's up to us to steer it in the right direction. You cannot afford to let negative thoughts dominate your mind. You are the most important person in your life, and your internal conversation should reflect that. The words you speak to yourself should uplift you, inspire you, and remind you of your inherent worth. After all, if you don't speak to yourself with love and respect, how can you expect anyone else to? When you begin to take control of your self-talk, you take control of your life. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start becoming the architect of your future. It all begins with a shift in your mindset and a change in the way you speak to yourself. This change isn't instant, and it won't happen overnight. But with practice, patience, and consistency, you'll begin to notice profound changes in how you see yourself and how you approach the world. The power of self-talk is not just a motivational tool, it's a transformative force. It shapes who you are, how you think, and how you act. It defines your self-worth and ultimately the quality of your life. The way you talk to yourself will either empower you or hold you back. The choice is yours. So make the decision today to speak to yourself as the person you aspire to be, not the person you fear you are. The power is in your hands, and it all begins with the words you speak to yourself. No one has more power over you than you do. The influence that shapes your life, your decisions, and your future is rooted in the relationship you have with yourself. You are the single greatest force that can determine where you go, what you do, and who you become. It's easy to think that our circumstances, the people around us, or external forces have the most influence over our lives, but the truth is, your thoughts, beliefs, and actions are what truly steer the course of your journey. The way you see yourself and the way you speak to yourself holds the key to everything. Whether you rise to the challenges life throws at you or retreat from them often depends on the voice inside your head. If that voice is filled with doubt, criticism, and negativity, then you will find it hard to step into your full potential. But if that voice encourages you, affirms your strength, and speaks to your abilities, then you are far more likely to take bold steps toward your dreams. It's easy to look to others for approval, to seek validation from the world around you. We want people to tell us we're good enough, that we're worthy of success, love, and happiness. But if you don't first believe these things about yourself, no amount of external validation will make a lasting impact. The truth is, you must become your own biggest advocate, your own greatest supporter. Before the world tells you what you're capable of, you must first tell yourself. Before others give you permission to succeed, you must give yourself permission. The power to create change, to evolve, and to overcome obstacles lies within the choices you make every day. Every time you choose to act with confidence, to trust your own judgment, and to embrace the challenges that come your way, you build a stronger relationship with yourself. You start to realize that you are more than capable of handling whatever comes your way. You begin to see that your internal dialogue, the way you talk to yourself, is the most important conversation you will ever have. Too often we give others the power to define us. We let the opinions of others dictate how we feel about ourselves. But this puts us at the mercy of those opinions, and it leaves us vulnerable to being swayed by every passing remark, every judgment, every criticism. Instead, imagine the power of being immune to external opinions, because you are grounded in your own belief in yourself. When you are sure of your worth, when you know your value, no one can shake that foundation. You are no longer dependent on others for your sense of self. You are the source of your own validation. Your self-worth is not defined by the job you hold, the amount of money in your bank account, or the accolades you've earned. It is rooted in your intrinsic value as a person. When you recognize this, you no longer let external circumstances control your sense of who you are. You are the creator of your own destiny. Every decision you make, every goal you set, and every action you take is an expression of the power you hold within. You do not need permission from anyone else to live the life you want. You have everything you need inside of you to make your dreams a reality. And this power doesn't just show up overnight. It grows through your daily practices, your daily thoughts, and your daily choices. When you start to believe in your own potential, when you stop waiting for others to tell you that you're good enough, your entire life begins to shift. You start to take risks. You begin to stretch beyond your comfort zones, and you open yourself up to the possibilities that were once beyond your reach. Your self-talk, your self-belief, and your self-awareness shape your reality. If you believe you're limited, then you will be limited. If you believe you are destined for greatness, then greatness becomes your path. You have the power to decide who you are and who you will become. You can choose to be the person who overcomes adversity, who pushes forward despite the odds, and who builds a life of meaning and success. Start from where you will be alive. Or you can choose to be the person who stands still, waiting for change to happen from the outside. Remember, the greatest influence on your life is the one you have over yourself. The decisions you make about how you see yourself, how you talk to yourself, and how you take action toward your dreams will be the determining factors in the life you create. Don't wait for someone else to come along and tell you that you're enough. You are enough right now, just as you are. You are your own greatest influence. And that truth is the foundation for all the success and fulfillment you seek. It begins with you. Always has, always will. The words we speak, both aloud and within our minds, are more than just sounds or mere expressions. They are the building blocks of our reality. Every word that leaves your lips or passes through your thoughts carries weight, shaping the very world around you. Whether we realize it or not, our words are constantly crafting the future, creating opportunities, forging connections, and setting the tone for everything we experience. The simple truth is this: words have the power to create reality. Think about the moments in your life when words, spoken or unspoken, have had a profound impact. A kind word of encouragement can lift someone out of despair, while a harsh criticism can destroy confidence and hope. The words we hear shape our beliefs, our self-perception, and our approach to life. But what is often overlooked is that we are also the creators of our own internal dialogue, and that self-talk holds an equal, if not greater, influence over our lives. When you speak with conviction, when you declare with certainty that something is possible, you are planting seeds in your mind that will eventually grow into actions, decisions, and outcomes. Our thoughts and words are intricately linked. If you constantly tell yourself that you're incapable or undeserving, that message reverberates through your actions, and you'll begin to make decisions that align with that limiting belief. On the other hand, if you speak words of power, possibility, and encouragement, your mind starts to believe those words. And when your mind believes, it aligns your life to reflect the truth you've spoken into existence. Consider how a single affirmation or declaration can shift the course of a moment or even a life. Imagine waking up in the morning and telling yourself, today will be a great day, and truly believing it. That simple statement plants the seed for a day filled with possibility and optimism. Contrast that with a morning where your first thought is, I don't feel like it today. Oh, nothing ever goes right for me. Those words plant a different seed. One of doubt, frustration, or even defeat. Words are also the foundation of the relationships we build. The way we speak to others creates the dynamic we share with them. A word of praise can elevate someone's spirit, while a careless word can break trust or deepen division. This is just as true when we speak to ourselves. The way we talk to ourselves, whether with compassion and understanding or with judgment and criticism, sets the tone for how we show up in the world. What we speak into existence today has the power to shape tomorrow. When we affirm our worth, our dreams, and our potential, we activate a force that propels us toward those very things. But when we speak from a place of fear, scarcity, or doubt, we limit ourselves, reinforcing the belief that our goals are out of reach. The reality we experience is a direct reflection of the narrative we tell ourselves and the words we choose to embrace. It's important to realize that words are not just passive. They are active creators. The thoughts we think and the words we speak set in motion the events that unfold in our lives. For example, when you say, "I can't do this," your mind immediately begins to look for evidence that supports that belief. It finds reasons why it's too hard, too complicated, or too impossible. But then you say, "I am capable of doing this." Your mind shifts focus, seeking ways to make it happen, looking for solutions, ideas, and opportunities to rise to the challenge. The reality we live in is shaped by the language we use. Not just the language we use with others, but the language we use within. This means we must be mindful of our thoughts and the words we speak to ourselves. The more we speak in terms of possibility, strength, and success, the more we begin to align ourselves with those things. When we stop speaking limitations into our lives and instead speak vision, hope, and belief, we begin to change the very fabric of our reality. And let's not forget the long-term impact of words. Just as a plant takes time to grow from a seed, so does the impact of words. When you start speaking with purpose, speaking words that encourage, empower, and affirm your worth, you begin to see change, but it may not always be instant. The more you nurture those words, the deeper they take root, and over time, they begin to bear fruit in the form of new opportunities, stronger relationships, and a life that reflects the greatness you've been speaking into existence all along. Your words are like a compass, directing you toward the life you desire. If you want to experience a life filled with peace, success, and fulfillment, begin by choosing your words carefully. Speak life into your situation. Speak abundance into your future. Speak possibility into your heart. By doing so, you begin to align yourself with a reality that reflects those very truths. And in time, the words you speak will not only shape your life, they will create a future you can be proud of. Shifting your thinking is one of the most powerful tools at your disposal for transforming your life. Our thoughts are the foundation of everything we experience. How we perceive the world, how we respond to challenges, and how we define ourselves. Yet so many of us get stuck in the same patterns of thinking, often limiting ourselves with beliefs and perspectives that no longer serve us. The truth is, your thoughts have the power to shape your reality, but in order to unlock that power, you must be willing to change the way you think. One of the most profound changes you can make is to shift from a mindset of limitation to one of possibility. For many, the natural tendency is to focus on what can go wrong, what's missing, or what can't be done. This mindset creates barriers that stop us from pursuing our dreams and goals. We become afraid to try new things because we're focused on failure rather than success. Shifting your thinking means choosing to focus on what can be done rather than what can't. It's about embracing the idea that every challenge is an opportunity for growth, every obstacle a lesson waiting to be learned. This shift doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, commitment, and practice. But the more you start to focus on the possibilities instead of the obstacles, the more natural it becomes. It's like training a muscle. You start small, but with each positive thought, you strengthen your ability to see opportunity. Another key aspect of shifting your thinking is transforming how you view failure. So many people allow the fear of failure to paralyze them. We've all been taught to avoid mistakes, to be perfect, and to steer clear of anything that might go wrong. But the truth is, failure is not a reflection of your worth. It's simply part of the process of learning and growing. Every successful person has experienced failure. but they didn't let it define them. They learned from it, adjusted their approach, and kept moving forward. When you shift your thinking about failure, it becomes something to embrace rather than avoid. Failure is no longer the end of the road. It's a step on the journey. When you see failure as a stepping stone, it no longer holds power over you. Instead of fearing failure, you start to see it as an opportunity to evolve and get closer to your ultimate goal. Another essential shift in thinking is moving from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe that their abilities, intelligence, and talents are static, that they are born with a certain level of capability, and that's all there is. But those with a growth mindset understand that skills and abilities can be developed over time. Your capacity to grow, learn, and improve is limitless. No matter where you start, you can always grow further. Embracing this mindset means letting go of the belief that you're limited by your current circumstances or past failures. It means embracing the idea that you can always improve, that your potential is not fixed, and that you are constantly evolving. A growth mindset also changes the way you approach challenges. Instead of avoiding difficult situations or thinking you're not capable of overcoming them, you begin to see them as opportunities to grow. The challenges you face become part of your journey of self-discovery. They no longer stop you from progressing, they fuel your progress. But perhaps the most significant shift in thinking is how we view ourselves. So many people struggle with self-doubt, insecurity, and the belief that they aren't worthy of success or happiness. They let negative self-talk dictate their choices, often holding themselves back from pursuing their dreams. How you view yourself determines how you show up in the world. If you constantly tell yourself you're not good enough or capable enough, that's the version of yourself you'll continue to see and become. But if you shift your thinking and start seeing yourself as powerful, capable, and worthy of every success, that belief will begin to shape your actions and outcomes. When you truly believe in your own worth, the world around you begins to reflect that belief back to you. Shifting your thinking also requires you to let go of the limiting beliefs that you've carried with you, often unconsciously, for years. Many of us are conditioned by past experiences, societal expectations, or the opinions of others. These beliefs are like chains that keep us tied to a version of ourselves that is smaller than what we could be. The first step in shifting your thinking is becoming aware of those limiting beliefs. Once you recognize them, you can challenge them. You can ask yourself, is this belief truly mine? Is it serving me? Is it based on fact, or is it just a story I've been telling myself? When you question these beliefs, you begin to break free from their hold, and you make room for new, empowering thoughts to take their place. Shifting your thinking is about becoming aware of the power of your thoughts and choosing to direct them toward the life you want to create. It's about taking control of your internal narrative and refusing to let old negative patterns dictate your future. You are not a victim of your circumstances or your thoughts. You have the power to change the way you think, and by doing so, you change the way you experience the world. When you make the conscious decision to shift your thinking, you open the door to limitless possibilities. The life you dream of begins with the thoughts you choose to think today. Affirmations are not just words we speak. They are declarations that have the power to transform our entire lives. When spoken with intention and belief, affirmations have the ability to reprogram the subconscious mind, break down limiting beliefs, and reshape the way we view ourselves and the world. They are more than simple positive statements. They are powerful tools for creating the life we desire, one thought at a time. The process of transformation begins within. The way you think about yourself, your abilities, and your potential determines the actions you take and the outcomes you experience. Too often we allow past failures, self-doubt, or external criticisms to dictate our mindset. These negative thought patterns become deeply ingrained in our subconscious, influencing how we approach opportunities, challenges, and relationships. Affirmations offer a way to challenge these limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering truths. When you speak affirmations, you are actively choosing to shift your thinking. These words, repeated consistently, begin to dissolve old thought patterns and create new ones. Just as a gardener plants seeds in fertile soil and nurtures them with care, you are planting the seeds of transformation in your mind. The more you repeat these affirmations, the more deeply they take root in your consciousness, gradually changing how you view yourself and the world around you. At first, the process may feel unfamiliar or even uncomfortable, especially if you're not used to speaking positively to yourself. But with time and practice, these affirmations begin to feel natural, and you begin to believe the truths you are declaring. The key is consistency. Transformation doesn't happen overnight, but when you make affirmations a daily practice, you begin to see shifts in your mindset, your behavior, and your results. One of the most powerful aspects of affirmations is their ability to challenge negative self-talk. For example, when you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough," or "I can't do this," you can counteract those thoughts with affirmations like, "I am worthy of success," or "I am more than capable of achieving my goals." These affirmations don't just counteract negativity, they actively replace it with a positive, empowering narrative that moves you toward action. Affirmations also play a crucial role in building self-confidence. Many people struggle with feelings of inadequacy or self-doubt, and these feelings often hold them back from taking bold steps in their lives. By consistently affirming your worth and capabilities, you begin to build a solid foundation of self-belief. Affirmations such as, "I believe in myself," or "I'm confident in my abilities," slowly start to dissolve insecurities, replacing them with a deep sense of trust in your own potential. The more you reinforce this belief, the more you will see it reflected in your decisions, actions, and results. In addition to boosting self-confidence, affirmations help create a mindset of abundance. Too many people live in a state of scarcity, focusing on what they don't have or what they fear they will lose. This mindset limits their potential and keeps them stuck in a cycle of lack. Affirmations like, "I am deserving of abundance," or "I attract opportunities and success into my life," shift this mindset from scarcity to abundance. They open up the possibility for more love, more opportunities, more success. Because they help you embrace the belief that there is enough for you and everyone else. But affirmations aren't just about changing the way you think, they're also about changing the way you act. As your mindset begins to shift, your behavior begins to align with your new beliefs. If you affirm that you are capable of achieving your goals, you'll find yourself taking more purposeful actions toward those goals. If you affirm that you are worthy of love and respect, you'll begin to show up in relationships in a way that reflects that belief. Affirmations empower you to act in accordance with the person you are becoming, and as you take aligned actions, you create tangible transformation in your life. Moreover, affirmations also help to cultivate gratitude. By regularly affirming the positive aspects of your life, you begin to focus on what is already working rather than on what's lacking. Affirmations like, "I am grateful for all the abundance in my life," or I appreciate the love and support I receive, shift your attention away from scarcity and toward gratitude. When you live in a state of gratitude, you begin to see the blessings that surround you, and this sense of abundance attracts even more good things into your life. It's important to remember that affirmations are not magic words that will instantly change your life. They are tools that, when used consistently and with belief, gradually shift your mindset, influence your actions, and align your life with your desires. The power lies in the belief behind the words. You must speak them with conviction, feel the truth of them, and trust that they are already becoming a reality in your life. Over time, affirmations create a ripple effect in every area of your life. As you begin to see the positive changes that occur as a result of your affirmations, you will be encouraged to continue practicing them. Your new mindset will lead to new actions, which will lead to new results. This cycle of transformation will continue to build, and you'll find yourself living a life that reflects the powerful truths you've been affirming all along. So begin today. Speak those affirmations with intention and belief. Use them to break free from the negative thought patterns that have held you back and to create a new, empowered version of yourself. Your words hold the power to transform your life. And with consistent, focused affirmations, you are creating the reality you've always dreamed of. The 3 Days Challenge is an exercise in transformation designed to radically shift the way you think, speak, and behave in just a short period of time. Often people think that change requires a long, drawn-out process or dramatic external circumstances. But the truth is, real change begins from within. And sometimes all it takes is a conscious decision to change your internal narrative for just 3 days to spark a powerful shift. In these 3 days, you will challenge yourself to create new habits, alter your thinking, and speak only words that affirm your growth and potential. This challenge is about resetting your mindset, breaking free from negative patterns, and creating space for the positive beliefs and actions that can reshape your life. The first step is to become aware of the way you think and speak. Every day we have thousands of thoughts, many of which go unnoticed or unchecked. Many of these thoughts are filled with doubt, fear, and negativity. Thoughts that limit our potential and keep us from stepping into our greatness. By committing to the 3 Days Challenge, you actively choose to become aware of your thoughts and control the narrative that you allow to shape your experience. For these 3 days, you will commit to speaking only words that empower you. No self-deprecating language, no complaining, no criticism of yourself or others. Instead, you will focus on affirmations, encouragement, and gratitude. Every thought and word that leaves your mouth or enters your mind will be carefully chosen to reflect your highest potential. The moment you catch yourself slipping into negative self-talk or doubt, you will stop, reset, and speak words that uplift, empower, and affirm your ability to succeed. You will also notice how quickly your actions begin to change when you shift your internal dialogue. You may find that you start approaching challenges with a new perspective. Where you once saw problems or obstacles, you now see opportunities for growth. You will begin to take actions that align with the beliefs you are reinforcing. If you've been hesitant to take risks or step outside of your comfort zone, you'll notice that the affirmations you're repeating empower you to take action in ways you never thought possible. The beauty of the 3 Days Challenge is that it creates a clear, defined period of time in which you can commit to making a conscious effort to change. 3 days isn't an overwhelming commitment. It's short enough to feel achievable, yet long enough to begin seeing real shifts in your mindset. At the end of these 3 days, you will start to notice a difference in how you feel, how you see the world, and how you approach your goals. During this challenge, you begin to identify the thoughts that hold you back. You may realize how often you think thoughts of limitation, how often you say, I can't, or this isn't for me. As you stop allowing these thoughts to take root, you will create new mental pathways. Ones that are open to possibility, growth, and success. You'll start to understand that the limitations you thought were real were simply products of your past thinking, not the truth of your potential. The key is to make this challenge a consistent practice. It's not just about saying the right things for 3 days and then going back to old patterns. It's about using these 3 days as a foundation for long-term change. The challenge is a catalyst. It helps you break free from the negativity that has been holding you back and encourages you to step into a mindset of empowerment and possibility. By the 3rd day, you may find that you're not just thinking differently, you're acting differently. You may take bold steps toward a goal you've been putting off, or make decisions that are aligned with your highest self. Your confidence will grow as your thoughts and words start to reflect your true potential. You will begin to understand that you don't need to wait for external validation or permission from anyone to move forward. You have the power to create the life you want, and it starts with the thoughts you think and the words you speak. The 3 days challenge is just the beginning. By committing to these 3 days, you've initiated a process that can last a lifetime. Each time you complete a challenge like this, you build a deeper awareness of your ability to change. You create a new habit of positive thinking and self-empowerment that will continue to grow long after the 3 days are over. And as you continue this practice, you'll notice that the world around you starts to shift too. When you start believing in your own worth and power, the opportunities, relationships, and experiences that align with that belief begin to show up. Your energy changes, your confidence grows, the possibilities you once thought were out of reach now feel within your grasp. The world responds to the energy you put out. And when that energy is filled with confidence, self-love, and empowerment, the world opens up to you in ways you never imagined. So, take on the 3 days challenge. Speak with purpose, think with intention, act with confidence. By doing so, you'll start to unlock a new version of yourself, one that is empowered, courageous, and ready to step into the future you deserve. The most formidable enemy we will ever face is not external. It is not the people who doubt us, the situations that challenge us, or the obstacles that seem to stand in our way. The greatest enemy we face is the one within us. The thoughts, beliefs, and fears that limit our potential and keep us from becoming who we were truly meant to be. This enemy within is often more dangerous than any external force because it is the one voice we listen to more than any other. It is the voice of self-doubt, insecurity, fear, and limitation. It is the voice that says, you can't do this. You're not good enough. And this is as far as you'll ever go. This internal enemy is shaped by our past experiences, our upbringing, and the stories we've told ourselves for years. It thrives on fear, guilt, and the belief that we are not worthy or capable of achieving our dreams. It convinces us that we are bound by our circumstances, that we are destined to repeat the patterns of the past, and that change is too difficult or impossible. It keeps us stuck in a cycle of self-sabotage, preventing us from taking bold actions toward our goals. that we are bound by our circumstances, that we are bound by the scruples of fear and doubt. We are held back by fear and doubt and the inevitability, doubt. But here's the thing. The enemy within is not the truth. It is a lie. It is a collection of false beliefs and distorted perceptions that we have allowed to define us. The moment we begin to challenge these beliefs, to question the stories we've been telling ourselves, we begin to take back our power. The enemy within only has as much control as we allow it to have. The minute we decide that we no longer want to live under its influence, we can begin to rewrite our narrative. The battle is not fought with swords or shields, but with the power of thought. The first step in defeating the enemy within is becoming aware of its presence. So many of us live with this constant inner dialogue that runs on autopilot, criticizing, doubting, and limiting us without us even realizing it. The first step is to listen, to pay attention to the words we say to ourselves and the beliefs we hold about who we are. These thoughts are often so deeply ingrained that we don't even question them. But when we begin to bring awareness to them, we can start to differentiate between what is true and what is simply a false belief we have accepted. Once we are aware of the enemy's voice, we can start to challenge it. Every time we hear a thought that says we are not good enough, we can counter it with a thought that affirms our worth and capabilities. Every time fear whispers that we should play it safe and stay where we are, we can remind ourselves that growth only happens when we step into the unknown. Every time doubt creeps in and tells us to give up, we can choose to believe in our strength, our potential, and our ability to overcome. The enemy within thrives on complacency. It wants us to stay stuck in our comfort zones, to avoid change, and to let fear dictate our decisions. It convinces us that we are not worthy of success, happiness, or fulfillment. But the truth is that you are worthy. Worthy of every good thing life has to offer. The very fact that you are alive means you have the ability to create, to grow, and to transform. The enemy within can only hold power if you allow it to. But when you take ownership of your thoughts and beliefs, you take away its strength. This internal enemy is not defeated by force, but by awareness, compassion, and persistence. It is important to understand that we are not fighting against ourselves, but rather against the false ideas we've accepted about who we are. The enemy within is built on fear and insecurity, and it will try to convince you that you are powerless. But the truth is, you are powerful beyond measure. The power to change your life, to pursue your dreams, and to rise above your limitations lies within you. The enemy within wants you to forget this power. It wants you to believe you are weak and incapable. But when you reject these lies, you free yourself to create a life of strength, possibility, and success. The enemy within also thrives on isolation. It tries to convince us that we are alone in our struggles, that no one understands or can help. It isolates us, keeping us trapped in our thoughts and fears. But the truth is, we are not alone. We are surrounded by a network of support, whether it be friends, mentors, or loved ones. The more we open ourselves up to others, the less power the enemy within has. We don't have to fight this battle alone. By connecting with others who believe in us, we gain strength and encouragement to continue pushing forward. This internal battle is ongoing, and the enemy within will not disappear overnight. But with each day you take a step towards self-awareness, self-love, and self-belief, you weaken its hold on you. Every time you choose courage over fear, action over inaction, and love over self-criticism, you dismantle the power the enemy within has over your life. The most important thing to remember is that you are not defined by the enemy within. You are not defined by the thoughts or beliefs that have held you back in the past. You are defined by the strength to rise above them, to challenge them, and to create a new story. A story of courage, confidence, and limitless potential. The enemy within will continue to show up, but you now have the power to choose whether or not it controls your life. And with each victory, you grow stronger, more empowered, and more capable of living the life you were destined for. Consistency is the quiet force that drives success. It's easy to get excited about new ideas, new goals, and new beginnings. We feel the rush of motivation at the start of a project, a new habit, or a dream we're eager to pursue. But what separates those who succeed from those who fall short is not the intensity of their excitement or the grandeur of their goals. It is the ability to show up every single day. No matter how challenging or mundane the journey becomes. Consistency is what keeps you going when the initial enthusiasm fades. The power of consistency lies in its compounding effect. Think of it like small, steady steps that lead you to a distant destination. The results may not be immediate, but the more you consistently show up, the more you build momentum. This is why habits are so crucial to success. They create a foundation of actions that, when repeated, day after day, add up to massive progress over time. When you are consistent, even the smallest of actions become powerful, and over time, they begin to transform your life in ways that feel almost effortless. It's important to understand that consistency isn't about perfection. It's not about doing something perfectly every day. It's about showing up, doing your best, and staying committed to the process. There will be days when you miss a step or fall short of your expectations. But those days don't define you. What matters is that you get back up and continue. It's about embracing the process, not just the result. Success is built on the foundation of consistently putting in the effort, even when the results aren't immediate, or even when things aren't going as planned. Consistency is also the antidote to doubt and fear. When you commit to doing something day in and day out, you begin to silence the internal voices that tell you to quit, that you're not good enough, or that the journey is too hard. Those doubts and fears are powerful, but they cannot compete with steady, determined action. The more consistently you take action, the less power those doubts have over you. With each task completed, with each small victory, you reinforce the belief that you are capable, that you are making progress, and that success is inevitable. Moreover, consistency builds discipline. When you commit to showing up regularly, you train yourself to prioritize what matters, even when life gets busy or distractions arise. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment, and consistency is the foundation of discipline. It teaches you the value of doing the hard work, even when you don't feel like it. The more consistent you are, the more disciplined you become, and that discipline drives you to push through when the path gets tough or when you encounter resistance. It's easy to underestimate the power of small, consistent actions, especially when we're caught up in a society that celebrates quick results and overnight successes. We see people who appear to achieve greatness almost effortlessly, and we want that for ourselves. But what we don't see behind those moments of success are the years of consistent effort that led to that breakthrough. There is no such thing as an overnight success. Every success story is built on the foundation of consistency, of showing up when it's hard, of continuing to work even when progress feels slow, of believing in the process long before the rewards are visible. Another key aspect of consistency is that it creates a sense of trust in yourself. When you commit to something and consistently follow through, you begin to build a relationship with yourself based on trust and reliability. You prove to yourself that you can count on you. Self-trust is an invaluable asset because it gives you the confidence to take risks, the courage to face challenges, and the resilience to bounce back from setbacks. The more consistently you keep your promises to yourself, the stronger that trust becomes, and that trust fuels your progress. One of the most powerful things about consistency is that it eliminates the need for perfection. Perfection is an illusion. It's a trap that keeps you from taking action. If you're waiting for the perfect time, the perfect plan, or the perfect conditions, you'll never get started. Consistency allows you to start where you are and keep going regardless of how perfect. It's not about waiting for everything to align perfectly. It's about committing to progress, no matter how imperfect or messy the process may be. Consistency also leads to growth. When you consistently show up and put in the work, you begin to develop not only the skills and knowledge necessary for success, but also the resilience and mindset needed to thrive. The more you practice, the better you get, whether it's in your personal life, your career, or your relationships. Consistency fosters growth in ways that quick fixes and shortcuts can't. The process of consistent effort is what cultivates mastery. Consistency is the backbone of long-term success. It may not always be glamorous or exciting, but it is what keeps you moving forward, even on the days when motivation fades or obstacles arise. The key is to make consistency a non-negotiable part of your life. It's about committing to the journey and trusting that the small, consistent actions you take today will add up to something far greater in the future. Success is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And consistency is the pace that gets you to the finish line. When you embrace consistency, you stop focusing solely on the destination and begin to fall in love with the process. You begin to trust that every step, no matter how small, is taking you closer to your goals. The power of consistency is not just in the result, but in the transformation that happens within you as you commit to showing up each and every day, regardless of how you feel or what the outcome might be. Consistency is the quiet force that leads to extraordinary change. And once you embrace it, there's nothing that can stop you from achieving the greatness you are destined for. Every word you speak is like a seed planted in the soil of your life. What kind of seeds are you planting? Are they seeds of positivity, empowerment, and growth? Or are they seeds of doubt, limitation, and fear? Your words have the power to shape your reality. They carry weight both in the moment they are spoken and in the ripple effect they have over time. Just like a seed takes root in the ground and eventually grows into something significant, your words take root in your mind, your heart, and your actions. They manifest into the experiences you have and the reality you create. Think about it. Every conversation you have, every thought that turns into words is a chance to plant something new. You might not see the immediate impact of your words, just like you don't see the immediate growth of a seed underground. But over time, your words will grow into something substantial. If you're speaking words of encouragement, love, and strength, you are planting the seeds for a life that reflects those qualities. If you're constantly speaking words of negativity, self-doubt, or defeat, you are sowing the seeds for a life that mirrors that energy. Words are powerful because they shape the way you see yourself and the world around you. The language you use creates your identity. If you constantly tell yourself that you are not good enough, not capable enough, or not worthy of success, those words start to define you. They begin to influence your thoughts, your decisions, and your actions. Eventually, you start to believe those words are true. And they dictate the limits you place on yourself. But the opposite is also true. If you speak words of affirmation, possibility, and strength, those words begin to build a new reality for you. Words like, I am capable, I am worthy of success, and I am powerful beyond measure, start to shift your internal narrative. The more you speak these words, the more you start to believe them, and the more they will influence the way you act and the opportunities that come your way. We often don't realize how much our self-talk shapes our lives. The thoughts we think and the words we say to ourselves determine how we approach challenges, how we respond to setbacks, and how we see our potential. If your internal dialogue is filled with I can't, or it's too hard, or I'm not good enough, you are planting seeds of limitation. But if your internal dialogue is filled with I can do this, I am capable, and I will keep going, you are planting seeds of strength and resilience. Your words are not just reflections of your current reality. They are the blueprints for the life you are creating. One of the most profound ways to harness the power of words is to become intentional about the language you use. Start by paying attention to your self-talk, the way you speak about your goals, your dreams, and your challenges. Are you using words that lift you up, or are you using words that hold you back? If you catch yourself speaking negatively, make an effort to reframe those thoughts with more empowering language. Instead of saying, I'll never be able to do this, try saying, I may face challenges, but I am capable of finding solutions. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, replace it with, I am learning, growing, and improving every day. Every word you speak, whether it's directed at yourself or others, plants a seed that will eventually grow into something significant. You have the power to choose what you plant. By being intentional with your words, you are actively shaping the future you want to create. This is why it's so important to speak words that align with your vision, with the person you want to become, and with the life you want to experience. This applies not only to the way you speak to yourself, but also to the way you speak to others. The words you say to others can plant seeds in their hearts as well. When you speak words of encouragement, kindness, and respect, you are planting seeds of confidence and positivity in those around you. Your words have the power to uplift, inspire, and help others see their own potential. You might not always see the immediate impact, but trust that your words are planting something in their lives. And over time, those seeds will grow. What's even more powerful is when you realize that your words have the ability to change the course of your life and the lives of others. Every time you speak words that reflect the life you want to live, you are creating that reality piece by piece. You are shaping the world around you with your language. When you speak words of gratitude, abundance, and positivity, you are inviting more of those things into your life. When you speak words of love and kindness, you are attracting relationships that reflect those values. The key is to understand that your words have power, not just in the moment they are spoken, but in the lasting impact they leave. You may not see the immediate fruit of the seeds you plant today, but trust that over time they will grow and flourish. So choose your words wisely. Speak words that reflect the future you want to create. Speak words that encourage, empower, and inspire both yourself and others. And remember, the seeds you plant today will shape the harvest you reap tomorrow. So often we find ourselves putting things off, telling ourselves that tomorrow is the day we'll start. I'll begin working on my goals tomorrow, we say. Tomorrow I'll start that new habit. Tomorrow I'll be more disciplined. Tomorrow I'll change. But tomorrow never comes. And in the meantime, days, weeks, months, and even years slip by, and we wonder why we never made the progress we intended. The truth is, the best time to start is right now, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is a concept we can't control. It's a day that's always out of reach. A day that's filled with the hope of starting fresh, but lacking the actual action required to make a change. If you keep waiting for tomorrow, you will find yourself stuck in an endless cycle of later. The perfect time will never come because in reality, there is no such thing as the perfect time to start anything. There's always going to be some obstacle, some challenge, or some uncertainty in the way, but none of that matters if you choose to start today. When you commit to starting now, you take ownership of your life. You take control of the moment and stop letting the future dictate when you will act. The power is in the present. Every single moment is an opportunity to begin. It's the small, consistent actions you take today that build the momentum to carry you through tomorrow, the next day, and beyond. If you keep postponing your actions, you miss out on the compound effect of making progress, no matter how small, every day. You see, starting today doesn't mean everything will be perfect. It doesn't mean the journey will be without challenges or setbacks. It means you are making a commitment to yourself that you are no longer waiting for the perfect circumstances. You are choosing to step into your future by taking action right now. And that is how change happens, one decision at a time. It's easy to get caught up in the idea of needing everything to be aligned before you start. We often tell ourselves that we need more time, more resources, more knowledge, or more confidence. But those things come with experience. The only way to gain those things is by starting. You'll never feel ready to take that first step, and that's okay. Growth doesn't come from waiting for the perfect moment. It comes from taking imperfect action. Starting today also means that you stop relying on external circumstances to give you permission to change. It's easy to think that something or someone else has to give us the go-ahead to start living our dreams or working on our goals. But the only person who can give you permission is you. No one else can start the process for you, and no one else can walk the path for you. You have the power to begin right now. It doesn't matter if the world isn't ready for you, if your situation isn't ideal, or if your plan isn't perfect. What matters is that you're making progress, even if it's just one small step at a time. When you start today, you break the pattern of procrastination and self-doubt. Procrastination is a habit built on the fear of failure, the desire for perfection, and the illusion that there is always more time. But the truth is, tomorrow isn't guaranteed. All we have is today, this moment. If you keep waiting for the right time, you might look back years from now and realize that you've wasted time waiting instead of taking action. By starting today, you break free from that cycle of hesitation and self-sabotage. You empower yourself to take control of your journey. Every journey begins with the decision to start. It doesn't matter where you are, what your current situation is, or how far you think you have to go. What matters is that you make the decision to act now. When you choose to start today, you give yourself the gift of progress, however small it may seem at first. Each step, no matter how insignificant it may feel, brings you closer to the person you want to become. The journey may not be easy, and there may be days when it feels like progress is slow. But remember, it's the consistency of showing up and taking action every single day that compounds over time. Starting today is the foundation of the success you're seeking. It's in the action you take now, in the commitment you make to yourself, that the path ahead becomes clearer. It's easy to look at the big picture and feel overwhelmed by how much you have to do, how much you have to change. But you don't need to see the whole path. Just take the first step. Take one small action today and let that be the start of your journey. Tomorrow can wait, but today is yours. The power to transform your life is in your hands right now. By choosing to start today, you create momentum, you break the cycle of delay, and you give yourself the opportunity to build a future you desire. Tomorrow will always be just out of reach unless you decide that today is the day you start. So take a step forward, however small, and start creating the life you want. Don't wait for tomorrow. Start today. And let today be the day that everything begins to change. To wrap it all up, remember this. The way you speak to yourself shapes your world. Talk to yourself with kindness, strength, and encouragement. For the next 3 days, commit to being your own biggest cheerleader. Challenge negative thoughts and replace them with affirmations of self-love and confidence. The power you need to transform your life is already within you. Keep nurturing. Speak to yourself like you truly matter, because you do. Keep going, keep growing, and keep believing in yourself. Your future starts with how you treat yourself today.